smacked my dragon doll. Please none of these fall down. I have them on like a tiny table next to me and I'm so like I just don't want to knock any of them over. I need to get a bigger table. Anyway, so I wanted to do something a little bit different for this video. I wanted to do a bit of a doll tour since it's the end of the year, and I completed, I think, like 20 dolls this year. Maybe 19. I don't know how to count. I think that many. I figured I would just talk to you guys about them because I feel like this year with dolls, I have some that I'm just really proud of and I want to talk about, and some that I'm not as proud of. I believe I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I moved back from Kuwait in October, and when I was living in Kuwait, I didn't really feel like there aren't a lot of like art supply stores in Kuwait that have a lot of art supplies. It was kind of like slim pickings when it came to doll repainting there. So I felt kind of like I wasn't fully expressing my ideas when I was living there. I feel like ever since moving back to America, I kind of like broadened my horizons or whatever when it comes to making dolls, because I just had way more access to way more things. Like Amazon, my best friend. I mean, you can order Amazon in Kuwait, but then you have to pay like so much for shipping, and it was a lot. Okay, so yeah, I have some dolls here I want to talk to you. Well, I'm going to talk about literally all my dolls that I completed this year. And I'm going to do close-ups and everything and talk to you guys about things that I liked and things that I didn't like. So the first doll, actually this is not the first doll that I did this year, but I just want to mention, some of you guys probably noticed I didn't like put up a video or anything, but I did give, so carefully moving her, my mini-me a new face-up. I think I did this around like February. I gave her a new face-up. I feel like she looks more like me. I feel like I kind of want to give her another new face up, but it's getting a little excessive. Just because, I don't know, I feel like I could do better. I mean, she's still cute. I also think I could maybe make her look more like me on the third attempt. Not that I feel like she does look like me, but it's funny, with this repaint, I actually had somebody who was commenting on my Instagram being like, I think you have rosacea because of, this is my mini-me, and because her like blushing is so blotchy and stuff. And I was like, no, it's just a stylistic choice. I don't have rosacea. I really don't have rosacea. Like underneath all of this makeup, I don't have rosacea, I swear, guys. But yeah, there she is. Very first doll that I made this year is I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I need a bigger table. Clefairy! Hey girl! So this is Clefairy. When I made her, I have 2 Pokemon dolls on my channel. When I made her, I was like so proud of her. Not that I'm not anymore. I just feel like I've gotten better, I guess, since making her. I was really proud of like her dress. I think it's very, well, I feel like with this silhouette, it's really Clefairy, because it's very round and Clefairy is very round. I wish that I had gotten her curls to stay in. I've come to the realization with curling yarn hair that you kind of have to like spray it with hairspray or something, because she had ringlet curls that actually curled twice, because I was curling with like a crochet hook and it just wasn't big enough. It was giving me like these little waves basically, and then I got a chopstick and it just changed my whole life. And now all I use to curl hair is chopsticks. But yeah, you kind of have to like spray it with hairspray or something, because all of the curls that I've given my dolls with yarn hair have just fallen out. I mean, they're nice and wavy. I just think with, when I envision Clefairy, I envision like, you know, like ringlet curls. I was still putting gloss on my doll's eyes at this point. There's a couple of them that have gloss on their eyes. I don't do that anymore because it's really hard to photograph. Like even now, you may be looking at her and being like, I can't see any of the eye details on her eyes. I just find that that's what gloss does. It looks really nice in person. Like I really like glossed eyes in person, but if you're trying to take a photo or anything, like a video, anything of a doll with glossy eyes, it just doesn't really work out, at least for me. I know some people gloss the waterline and that's it, and then other people, I believe it works out if you don't add any eye shines to your dolls at all, but I add a ton. Like I have a lot of white details going on, so it just completely blocks those out. So that's something I learned this year. I stopped glossing my doll's eyes. I still really do like her. I think she's really cute. I feel like I could have done better. I like how her little wings came out and her tail and everything. I don't like these shoes. This was when I was still putting like gloss on the shoes and it's just tacky. I want to try out Tamiya gloss. Tamiya clear coat. It's like this thing that a lot of people use on repaints, and I think it's not. So with gloss, with dolls, it gets very sticky. Here's Clefairy. She's cute. I feel like I've also gotten better at sewing, which doesn't really say a lot because I still suck at sewing, but I feel like I've gotten like maybe a little bit better. So after Clefairy, I did my Decorkey doll. Okay, Decorkey. Hey. I feel like with these two, it just felt like the obligatory YouTube doll repaint dolls. Was a Pokemon doll and a Decorkey doll. Like, I feel like everybody makes those at some point in their doll repainting career. But yeah, here she is. I was super happy with this doll when I made her. Looking back on it, I mean, I'm still pretty happy with her. Like, I still think she's cute. But I think I could have trimmed the fur a little bit more. Funny that I'm saying that, because if you guys know dolly mixtures here on YouTube, they were like, oh, you should trim the fur, and then I trimmed the fur. But I don't think I trimmed the fur enough. It looks a little wild. When I first made this, I was really happy with it. I'm still happy with it. Like, I still think it's a cute doll. This was before I kind of knew how to fix things with repaints. What I mean by that is there's like areas in her face up that I'm not completely happy with. Like, I'm not completely happy with the eye details, which is something that I would experience a lot with my older repaints. And this was prior to me knowing how to correct things. Now I know how to correct things. I find nowadays with repaints, at least for face-ups, this doesn't have like anything to do with like, I feel like with face-ups, my skill level is at a certain point. With making clothes, my skill level's at a certain point, and then with like making props and like sculpting and stuff, my skill level's at a certain point, and they're all like different points. So I feel like with face-ups, I've come to realize, and I generally like all of my recent face-ups because I've learned how to correct mistakes. At this point, I was still kind of making face-ups where if I didn't like something, I was like, oh, I guess like I'll just stick with it because the only way to fix it is to completely wipe the face. And the main area that I used to get really hung up on areas that I didn't like was the iris details, because they're like the most meticulous thing when it comes to face-ups for me, because it's just a lot of like super tiny paint work. To learn that one, I stopped using acrylic paint, I believe this year, because I came to realize that when you're using acrylic paint, the amount that you put down is so small that it almost dries instantaneously, and it's also very unforgiving. So the only way to get like dried acrylic paint off of a surface is to kind of like scratch it off, which when you're working on face-ups, it's just, I mean, who wants to like scratch their face up because they're trying to get like a detail off? Not me. So I switched over to using watercolors, and I actually don't use watercolors. I use my watercolor pencils, which are watercolors. I just wet them and then like lift pigment off with my brush, and that's what I use for all of like the very tiny paint details on my face. I have learned to correct my mistakes, and what I mean by that is whenever I start adding in the eye details, I spray with Mr. Super Clear, and then I begin to add them in, and then if I don't like any of them, since I'm going in with watercolor, I just take a Q-tip and wipe the watercolor away, and then I redo it if I don't like that specific eye detail. So that's kind of how I've learned to fix issues that I've had when it comes to details in the eyes, which was like 90% of the problems. Like if I have an issue with a certain face-up, it's probably that. It's probably because I didn't quite get the like iris details exactly the way that I like. I'm going to be doing, I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm going to be doing an essentials video, so if you want to see that and you want kind of a more in-depth detail about the products that I use and the reason why I use them, I'm going to be putting that up. I was pretty happy with her. I don't know if she's like completely Decorkey accurate, but she has a lot of stuff going on, and I really like that about her. This is also, I bought like the Blythe shoes from AliExpress. The notorious Blythe shoes. I feel like some people hate these, but I like them, and they fit Monster High dolls and they're cute and make them look like they have like real big fat feet. I'm here for it. Next doll we have is Cupid. This was actually made in collaboration with a bunch of other artists here on YouTube. We did like a Valentine's Day collab, and I made Cupid, and this is about to fall out of her hand. Oh my god. So yeah, when I made this, I was like super happy with her. Good Fairy is actually one of my favorite bases. I haven't painted, I don't think I've painted a Ever After High doll since this doll, and I need to paint one because they used to be like my favorite, and I still really like them. but I just haven't painted one in a really long time. I was super happy with this doll when I made her, and I'm still like, I still think she's cute. I think her hair looks kind of bad. Like, I wasn't quite curling hair in the right, it's really frizzy. And that's because, so what I've learned is with curling hair with chopsticks is that when you're pulling the chopstick, like when you're pulling it off the hair, I was pulling it up off of the hair, and that's what made all this like kind of crazy flyaway stuff. So my kind of tip would be to pull it down, and it sort of just makes the curls a little bit neater. So that's what I learned with this doll. I was really happy with her face up. I still think it's like pretty cute. This was before I started using a lot of paint in the eyes. I was doing like a lot of the eye detail. I was still doing it with paint, but I was doing more of it with pencils, and I feel like it looks better now with more paint. Or it's just gotten a little bit more precise or whatever. But yeah, I'm happy with her. I think she's cute. I give her some like My Little Pony wings, and I was like, ooh, I'm modding. I like her outfit a lot. I think it's really adorable. Shoes are sticky. Oh my god, I hate glossy varnish. I hate it. I don't really have a lot to say aside from I was happy with her. I'm still relatively happy. I just think her hair looks kind of bad. So that's my Cupid. These next 3 dolls I'm going to talk pretty quickly about because they're dolls that I don't have anymore. The first one was I painted a Persephone doll, and that was for a work Secret Santa. And I gave it to my Secret Santa partner, and she really liked it. With that doll, I was trying to do something a little bit more simple because it was like a work Secret Santa. With that like work thing, people were doing them like the night before, maybe a couple days before, tops like the week before. So when you do like even a simple doll repaint, it still does take a while. Like it takes me like a week and a half to 2 weeks, even if it's simple. It's basically just incorporating like a lot of her interests. Like it had like her favorite colors. Her cat is a gray cat. She really likes her cat. She also really likes zodiac stuff, and I think I put like her zodiac sign on the doll's chest or something. The next 2 that I actually have are swap dolls. I did 2 swaps this year. I did one with HLA Crafts and one with Worlds Within Worlds. And the one that I did with HLA Crafts was a Slytherin doll repaint. With that doll, like, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I don't know, I don't really have like a lot to say about it. I was pretty happy with it. And I think that HLA Crafts liked it. And then the other one was a fairy doll that I made for Worlds Within Worlds. I think that the difference between those 2 dolls, like, I don't really like Harry Potter. Like I used to. So when I was making it, like, I mean, I made something that like I put time into and I tried, but I had a lot more fun making a fairy doll for Worlds Within Worlds because it's a fairy, and just fairies are fun to make. I actually have another fairy here, and I really like how that turned out, and I think that she really liked it too. I don't really have anything that I didn't like about that doll, if I remember correctly. It's kind of hard to tell because I don't have it in front of me because she obviously has it, but I also really like the doll that she sent me. It was just really colorful and fun to work on, and it made me make another fairy doll, which I will show you guys in a little bit. This is the doll that I made before the Slytherin doll and after the Persephone repaint is Gengar. So, yeah, this is Gengar. I wanted to make a little, I guess, friend for Clefairy because if you guys aren't aware, there's like, I guess lore, I don't know what to call it, but there's like a theory, I guess it's a theory, that Gengar is the ghost of Clefable. So not Clefairy, but Clefable. I just think that's a really cool theory. So when I was making this doll, I was trying to make this doll sort of very similar, like a similar silhouette and stuff to Clefairy. And they're supposed to be kind of a pair, but also kind of opposites. So they're not supposed to look like twins or anything. They're basically just supposed to look like they go together. So that's why they look a little bit similar. I had a lot of fun working on them. I actually did this one for a Pokemon collab. I don't think, like maybe I'll do another Pokemon video at some point, I don't really know. Because I do have other favorites and stuff. But yeah, I was happy with, like I like her like outfit. I like that she's kind of like, you know, like gothy, like the gothy version of Clefairy. I did not like how her face up turned out. So this is a Claudia Wolf face, the Jane Boo little body, and I actually have a Jane Boo little face and then a Claudia Wolf body. One of the other repaints I'm going to talk to you guys about. I don't really like how the face up came out. I had to spray paint her face with purple spray paint because Claudia Wolf's face is brown. And this was before the point that I was kind of fixing up my face ups with like Q-tips by wiping off the details that I didn't like. So I just sort of felt stuck with her face up. Like, it doesn't look bad. I'm not like, you know, I don't completely hate it. There's times when I've done face ups where I just completely hate the outcome. And then I usually redo it. Like, I'll talk to you guys about another one that I completely redid because I just hated the face up. But with this one, like, I mean, she looks okay. But I do like her style. I think her style is really cute. And I think she goes really well with Clefairy. So that's Gengar. So this is my like demon kind of tiefling doll. I was on Instagram and I cannot remember the person who inspired me to do this, but it's in the video that I made of this. They inspired me to put one of the Frightmare heads on a Monster High like normal body. If you guys don't know what the Frightmares are, they're like these really tiny Monster High like centaur dolls that they came out with that kind of look kind of bad. But I think on the Monster High bodies, they look pretty cute. So I saw someone do that combo and I really wanted to try it. So it's a Frightmare head on a Twyla body and I really like the combo. Like, I think she looks really cute. This was like the tiniest head that I've ever painted at the time. And I had a lot of fun painting her. Her outfit is just a lacy mess basically. Like, I like it. It's just like a lot of lace. She's like a very girly demon. I was kind of like, there wasn't really much of a plan with this doll. I just wanted to put a Frightmare head on a Twyla body. I actually have two dolls that I did that's head sizes are very similar to this one, like as small, and I'm way happier with those. So it's sort of cool seeing, I guess, the progression of tiny heads that I have. Someone said on that video that she looks like a jester, so I guess she's like a jester demon, tiefling, tiny-headed Twyla. There you go. The next doll that I have isn't like a full repaint that I had on my channel. It's actually a doll that I went back in and gave a new face up. I do have the old repaint process for this doll on my channel. It was like a Mother's Day doll. And I actually painted it when I was still in Kuwait. And I just wanted to do a doll inspired by my mom. If you guys don't know, my mom passed away when was it? My mom passed away in 2010. So I just wanted to make like a Mother's Day doll. I thought it'd be kind of cute. And I always thought Cleo kind of looked like my mom because my mom was really tan and had like tiny little features like Cleo. But I did not complete this doll this year. I just gave her a new face up. And the reason why I want to talk about this doll's face up is actually because this is when I started using more white paint in my dolls. Specifically, actually just more paint in general in my dolls. I just got way more comfortable with this face up because I was just doing it, I guess, to do it. I didn't film it or anything. So I just wanted to experiment a little bit and I just used a lot more paint. I just felt like this face up was specifically a turning point for me because I just started using tons of paint in my face ups at this point. I think a lot of people don't use paint in their face ups because they either don't like it, like how it looks, or they just find it more difficult. And it is more difficult than using pencils, in case you were curious. It is more difficult, but I feel like you just get a lot more like paint saturation or color saturation when you're using paint. I just wanted to quickly talk about her because I gave her a new face up. I felt like there was a turning point in my face up game with this doll. With repaints, like, don't be scared to just sort of experiment. And what I mean by that is that I feel like I sort of learned a lot from this doll, and it was just a doll that I was giving a new face because I didn't like her old one. And I didn't really feel, I just kind of felt more comfortable to experiment with it because when it comes to videos, or this doesn't really apply now because I've learned how to correct my mistakes when it comes to repaints, but I used to not know how, so I'd feel kind of obligated to do what I know when it came to videos that I was putting up on YouTube that were repaints because I didn't want the repaint to look bad. Sometimes it's nice to make dolls that you don't really put like a ton of expectations onto. So that's what I was trying to say. Anyway, moving on. This next doll was like my favorite for the longest time. So last minute I decided to make a mermaid doll. Dun dun dun, her boobies are falling out. Hold on. And yeah, I decided like 2 weeks before the end of May that I wanted to make a mermaid doll, and I actually think I put her up June 1st because it was just too much, like, you know, customizing a doll, editing a video, taking pictures of a doll. and just doing all the stuff that you have to do for YouTube, which is like a little bit too much, but I was really happy with her. This is a Serena Von Boo base, which I actually think Serena Von Boo is like the prettiest, like one of the prettiest bases for dolls. She's so pretty, like, oh my god, like look at all this. And she actually stands by herself because of this thing. You just like fold it out and she stands by herself. I just want to make a pink mermaid. Like, honestly, if I'm just left to my own devices, I'm making a pink something when it comes to repaint. So yeah, I really love her. One thing that I did learn with this is don't use super glue if you're putting down sparkles. So she obviously has like a ton of sparkles all over her, and at first I used super glue and it dries really weird and cloudy and ugly. So I had to go back through and like, I think I like picked it off, which was very stressful, and then I went back through with Elmer's glue all and glitter, and I put the glitter back down, and that works way better. Don't use super glue with glitter. Maybe that's just like a memo I didn't get, but yeah, I almost like was really upset because I actually did a face up with this doll, and then this was her second face up attempt, so I didn't want to like have to take the paint off again. Elmer's glue saved the day. I didn't have to like take her paint off or take her face off again, so she's cute. This was actually my first transparent doll, which was a learning experience. They're a little bit different than like the dolls with opaque faces to repaint. After my mermaid was Sephiroth. Sephiroth! Hey, here he is. This was the only man that I made this year. Really funny because I actually posted him on my Facebook and my aunt was like, she's so pretty. I was like, it's a man. But yeah, I like him. There's definitely things that I don't like as much about him. Like, I hate his sword. Where even is it? Oh my god, who even cares? It like looks so bad. Where's my damn shitty Sephiroth sword? I'll show it in pictures. It was just real floppy and not very straight, and I made it out of war blood. I don't really like how his armor came out. Like, this was the second time that I did it. It looked better than the first attempt, but it still looks a little janky. And his outfit is looks handmade, which listen, I know that like my sewing skills could be a bit better. Also, this is the doll that I had a lot of issues with because I started this doll like during quarantine or whatever, like the beginning of COVID. So I think that was in like February. I ordered all this stuff for him and it just didn't come for like 4 months. So I decided last minute to use a BTS doll as him, like for a base. And I do like how it came out. I feel like the BTS dolls are very like good bases for things. I have one in my closet that I haven't opened up yet. I just like them. Maybe I'll pick up a couple more. They're like dirt cheap right now. I think I got the one that's in my closet for like $2. So they're really cheap and they make really great bases. I hate their hands. Their hands are like, it's just doll hands. Like, it's just, ugh. I should have bent it a little bit. You can bend them in hot water, if you didn't know. I think that he actually did make a really great Sephiroth base. I'm alright with him. His jacket kind of sucks, his boots kind of suck, and his armor kind of sucks, so everything kind of sucks about him, but I still like him. Did you guys play, by the way, the Final Fantasy VII Remake? That's why I made him, is because me and my husband were playing that. The graphics were just really good. So I wanted to make a Sephiroth doll. I want to make like maybe an Eris doll at some point, but I just haven't been able to find a good base for her. So I kind of want to make all of them, but I don't know like what bases I would use. After Sephiroth, we made one of my favorite dolls that I've ever made. So this doll, which I don't know like if a lot of people liked her, but I really love her. So this was an AliExpress head, which is actually one of my favorite bases that I've ever used for like a head for a face up. It's just a really nice sculpt and it's on AliExpress for like $1. I actually bought like 3 more because I want to do another doll with this head because I feel like it would just really suit a certain character. But she has an Obitsu body and I love the Obitsu bodies. They pose really well, and they're also just anatomically really nice. Check out that double joint, hey! Actually, I tried to go kind of, well, I mean I tried with like all of my repaints, but I wanted to make her just like a really pretty dress, and she's supposed to be like a Lolita doll. If you can't tell, I feel like maybe you can tell, I'm pretty sure. But I just really like how her face up came out. I really like her bonnet. I really like her dress. I made her some shoes that look like decent. So I'm really happy with her. I love her. If you guys have not invested in the OOAK bodies, I think they're great. They're pricey. They're like $20 a body if you're buying the 1/6 scale ones, but they're awesome. This head was like $1 though, so that's kind of cool. I need to use more of my OOAK bodies because I keep collecting random heads that I find on like eBay and AliExpress. I keep collecting random heads and I don't have enough bodies for them, but I really love how this doll's like face came out, and I love this sculpt and everything, and she was my favorite for a while. She's one of my favorites. I feel like I have another favorite here. I have a couple favorites. I don't know. I like my dolls. I feel like everybody likes their dolls though. Or else why would you make them if you're just like, oh, I just keep making dolls and I hate them? That's so sad. Alright, moving on. I told you guys how I made a fairy for Worlds Within Worlds, and then I was like, I want a fairy too, so I made myself a fairy. This is my queen fairy. She is a Kiyomi Haunterly base, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with her. I actually made her using all Arteje products. Well, I mean, a lot of Arteje products, like her face is all Arteje pencils. And I use like their vinyls. What else did I use? I used something else. I'll link the video down below if you want to see it. She's supposed to be a little fairy queen. I had a lot of trouble because I kept her hair. She has wings, by the way. They're just like behind her massive amounts of hair. I had issue with her hair because I kept the hair that Kiyomi comes with because it's a really pretty like combination of purples and pinks and stuff, but it would not curl. So I was just kind of had to stick with it being straight, and I really wanted to curl it, but it's still pretty. And I like how just the most her dresses, like all these rhinestones, and she has little wire feet and everything. So I'm super happy with her. It was also fun making a fairy that was so different than my other fairy because I didn't want to put up two of the same type of fairy because that would have just been really repetitive. But I wanted to make myself a fairy because I really liked how the doll that I gave Worlds Within Worlds came out. So, which by the way, I'll link her down below. Oh, I made a magical girl. So I feel like a lot of people like don't like this. I'm just going by like the dislike ratio, and that's fine. I don't really care. Honestly, like I like my dolls, so this is my magical girl. She is a Barbie head, like a Barbie, I think it's Maluccia doll. It's from like one of the Barbie movies head, and I really wanted to put it on an Ever After High body. So this is a Maddie Hatter body. I had to like cut down the neck peg and everything, and I just really like her. She's yellow. There's things that I would have done different. Her staff is somewhere. I actually like how her staff. Oh, the weapons I made are over there. Let me grab them real quick. Okay, so speaking of when I was saying Sephiroth's like crappy sword, this is Sephiroth's crappy sword. It's very floppy. It's really bad. So I made that. See, like down here, it's like not straight. Whoopsies. And then she has a staff. So this is my magical girl staff. This is my magical girl. Yeah, there's things that I would have done differently now. I probably would have thought out her design a little bit more maybe because she just kind of looked like a ripoff of like a Sailor Moon character. But I'm kind of also okay with that because I also like magical girls that are ripoffs of Sailor Moon characters. So I don't know. I like her face up though. I think her face turned out pretty cute. I want more Maluccia heads. They're just really cute molds, and I feel like they look really good with the Ever After High bodies, but you do have to cut the neck down because the neck is way too long for these heads. So she was fun to work on though. She's like short and cute. Oh, next up is my dragon doll. So I like literally everyone loved Delightful. I think her dolls are fantastic, and she made like a whole dragon series, and I wanted to make a dragon doll because of it. So I made a dragon doll. Very much inspired by her dragon dolls, if you were wondering. And here she is. She's a little bit like, you kind of have to like position her a little bit to get her to stand. But this is her. This was like my first like project that, well, I made a mermaid for Delightful's Tropical Doll Club like a while ago. I made like a whole tail and everything. And I guess that was my first heavy modded thing, but I'm not completely happy with that project anymore. She's like chilling. There's things I would have done differently, basically, I mean. So this was my first time, I guess, modding something that I was like relatively happy with. And yeah, I like did her feet. They were like modded or whatever, sculpted on. This was my first project that I guess got me into epoxy sculpt and kind of got me to understanding how it works, because prior to this, I just hated the texture of epoxy sculpt, but with this I was like, no, we're using it because I bought it and I need to use this stuff. Because I've just seen people do like really, you know, magical things with it, specifically like delightful, and I just couldn't really figure out how to use it. But after this, I mean, well, during this and then after this, I use it a ton now because I feel like I really figured out, I guess, what to do with it. If there's one thing that I'm not completely happy with about this doll, I actually like a lot of aspects of her. Like her face up and her horns are like a lot, but I do like them. I hate her wings. I don't like how her wings came out. If I could redo them, I would, but I don't really think I can. I like her tail. I like how the sculpting came out. I like a lot about her, but I just really don't like her wings. Also, just like a technical thing, which a lot of you guys probably may know, is that whenever you sculpt horns, put wire inside and shove it into the head. Because I didn't, because I'm dumb, and they kept popping off and popping off. They don't anymore because I used like my weight in epoxy glue on her head, but the process was just annoying. So whenever you're like sculpting anything on a doll, specifically the head, I would use wire because it pops off of vinyl epoxy sculpt. So that's something that I definitely learned with this. My little dragon lady, she's cute. Next up, I have my candy girl. This is a Cave Club doll that I really like how she came out. She's really cute. If you guys haven't grabbed the Cave Club dolls and like used them as a base, I think they're adorable. I need to get more of these as a base because they're beautiful and I want Mattel to keep making them, so I need to like support them or whatever. The bodies are, they're not 1/6 scale. I guess they're like 1/8 scale. They're very like tiny little dolls. They actually feel great to hold, like holding this. I just feel like it's a perfect size to just have sitting in your hand or like holding in your hand. And they're the only miniature dolls that I know of that are articulated. So these are shorter than Monster High dolls. They're completely articulated. They also have really cute little bodies. Like they have like big, I guess like thick, like bigger hips and like big feet and stuff, and they're adorable. Like, oh my god, she's so cute. I need to get more, I really do. And if you haven't painted one, I recommend it. They're great little bases. I think that they make for really cute little characters. I actually used a Cave Club body on, I don't think it's the next doll, but in another one. Oh, in the next one, okay. So I actually used, after customizing this, I bought 2 more Cave Club dolls and I used the bodies with different heads. So I think this was an Emberly doll, by the way, if you're wondering, but they all kind of have like the same skull. Also made, and these ones are recent. Her hair's messy, oh no. Hold on a minute. Her shoe fell off. So I made 2 Demon Sisters, and I used the Cave Club bodies. The other one's over there. Hold on, let me get it. Okay, so these are my little Demon Sisters. They're really small. Look how small they are. Oh my god, they're so tiny. And yeah, they were really fun to make. They have the Cave Club bodies and then these random heads that I got off of eBay. This one right here, the silver one, is a Miko doll head. I have no idea what this is. So if you know what this doll's head is, let me know. I think it's really adorable. I want to get, I mean, I guess I kind of want to get another one. I just really like how these 2 came out. I feel like I probably could have done better with their clothes, but I like them. They're cute. They have like little detachable wings, which I can't really, hold on, maybe I can show you. Ooh, hold on. It's really stuck. She has like little detachable, her shoe fell off. Oh no. Oh no, I hope it didn't break. Yeah, and she has like a little tail that I don't think you can see very well. I like their little tiny heads. After I did the Demon Sisters, I did my Harpy, and I really like my Harpy doll. Hold on, let me get her. So this is my Harpy, and this is, like I was saying earlier, she is Jane Doolittle's head and Claudia Wolf's body. And I really like the big sister body types. I just think that they're a lot more, I guess, pleasing on the eye than the like sway back Monster High body types. I really like this hair. This is from the Doll Planet. It's their metallic coral hair, and I really like it. Like, it's so pretty. I want to get more, and I feel like it really pops with her skin tone, and she has wings that are like articulated, so they go up and down. I probably could have made the wings a little bit neater, but yeah, whatever. I really like her feet. I gave her like little claws or talons. And yeah, she was my Harpy, and I really like how she came out. She's definitely one of my favorites that I did this year. It was actually also in collaboration. It was like for a Halloween collab where you had to use a Franken doll. So what that means is you had to take like parts that you had in your stock box and put together a doll from them. And I think a lot of people have a stock box that are like, it's a lot of like doll parts, but I don't. So my stock box is very almost kind of anal retentive, where all of my dolls like have arms and like they all have heads. I don't really have like bodies laying around, but I did have the Jane Doolittle head and the Claudia Wolf body laying around because I did that Gengar doll. So I decided, you know, to use them up, put them together. And thank goodness it actually went really well, because I feel like Jane Doolittle looks really good as a sculpt for a deeper complexion. Like, it goes really well. She actually is one of my favorite bases. She's beautiful. She's like, something that's kind of cool about her is she has like the really pouty lips and stuff that I think a lot of Monster High dolls have like really tiny features, which is like beautiful. It's pretty, but it was nice to kind of switch it up and paint a doll that had like just really nice lips. So that's one of my faves. This was my last. So that Harpy doll was one of my Halloween dolls, even though she's not the spookiest and so were the Demon Sisters. But this was my last Halloween doll. She's a vampire, if you couldn't tell. She's a Batsy Claro base, and Batsy Claro is like one of my favorite Monster High dolls. I just think that she's a beautiful base, and she has like a cape, and I like how her dress came out and her shoes. And she wasn't the hardest doll to work on. She was actually really easy to work on, which, like, she didn't take me too long. And after making the Harpy doll, it was nice to work on something that didn't have like a lot of body mods, or really any body mods at all. She was just a really enjoyable doll to work on. I also made her a Sith, which I'm really happy with. One second, let me get it. I also just really like, this is like totally random, but I really like the color red, and I feel like I never use it in repaints. But this is her Sith, which I'm really happy with. It was fun to make. I like how it kind of looks like a vampire Sith. Like, it looks like it has like blood clots or veins all over it. I dig it. The second to last doll that I made this year was my little satyr slash fawn. I actually got like, oh my god, so many comments of people telling me like, it's not a satyr and it's not a fawn, and I don't know, guys. It's a deer person. So this is my deer person. I like her a lot. I think she's really cute, and she is an ISI Dawn Dancer base, which I just really wanted to paint. I do like having like, I guess, a wide variety of different dolls in my stock box, and when I get one that's more rare, it's really exciting for me, because I guess I do kind of collect Monster High dolls, but I collect them to like sit in my stock box and to have as bases. So yeah, she turned out really cute. It's fun to work on. I really like her hair. It's like wavy. It's yarn that I didn't straighten or anything. Little feet. This was really annoying. The yarn on her like legs, it just was like never-ending yarn wefts. It took me like 2 days to do, and for some reason I thought it would like be really easy and not take me long at all, but like no, it took forever to do her legs like that. And the very last doll that I did this year is my Jack Frost. I did this as part of a post-apocalyptic Christmas collaboration, and she has like a little gun sticking out of a hose in her back. I'm happy with how she turned out. She was definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's good to get out of your comfort zone sometimes. She's a Vandala de Bloom doll. She's another one of those transparent dolls. So she has a transparent you know, face and body. I especially like how her face up turned out. Because in case you guys didn't notice, the face-ups are my favorite part of repainting. They definitely are. I really like them. They're the reason why I got into repainting. It definitely was not because I enjoy making tiny clothes. Definitely not. I think if I had to pick a favorite of the year, it would be my Harpy. I have to look around me. I think it would be my Harpy, the Mermaid. I also really like the Vampire, but I don't know if she's like a favorite. And the Lolita doll. So this one. This one. Oh my god, they're so pink. The Mermaid's also pink. I can't pick her up. She's like on the ground. And then the Vampire is like also a possible one, but she is not pink. She's actually red, so that's my second favorite color. Pink's my favorite, and then red is my second favorite. So yeah, I just really like those. I mean, I like all of them. I'm pretty happy with all of the dolls that I made this year. If you guys have a favorite of the dolls that I created this year, let me know. Or if you have a favorite doll that you repainted this year, let me know what that is. I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, I'm going to have an essentials video going up soon. Also another repaint, obviously. And probably like a doll repaint haul going up soon. So I just wanted to do a doll tour. This video is probably so long. Of all of the dolls that I completed this year and just I guess what I think about them. Hopefully this was kind of interesting if you guys repaint dolls or if you have an interest in them. Like this video if you like this video, subscribe, it makes me happy, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye!